So Larry's trying to protect his ground from the floor. I mean, from the he's trying to protect the ground from the moisture of people's shoes for this gathering slash party, and he's like,
it looks like the red carpet in the ghetto.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. All right, let's do it. Let's get the tarot. What should my guiding light be for today? That'll make me feel elated, focused, inspired, social, fun, joyous. We got the Ace of Wands right here. Ooh, that's spicy. Wands are the suit of the fire element here. Okay, it is the possibility of creativity, excitement, adventure, a challenge to step forward with courage and confidence. Plant the wand firmly in the ground and see it blaze forth with crimson light. Like a response of flint striking tinder, inspiration blooms from that illumination. The spirit and sylphs are drawn forth from their dwellings. In ordinary light, they hide indistinguishable from leaf and twig and stone and sky, but in this glow, they slip out and stretch their wings. They sense that something is beginning. A spark has been lit. A challenge has been whispered. An invitation has been extended in this dawn hour. Once lit, fire is unpredictable and difficult to control. Uncontained energy can flare into a raging wildfire. Seize this wild opportunity and glory in the blaze. They are beings of fire and the guardians for the wands, foxes, cats, lions. They flash with the sparks of intellect and wit, with fleet bodies that dart through the world, and with the burning flame of a fierce, strong spirit. Wow, and just what a beautiful card that this is. What I'm taking away from this is just charge forward with fire, fierce nature, and allow the day to be filled with creativity and adventure, excitement. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Not me. I don't know. But I get to create it. And once you start something like a fire, it spreads. All right, well, I also want to add in here, my channel manager asked me to include a little bit about tarot for beginners. And boy, oh boy, am I a beginner. And I'll just share with you a little bit about my experience with it and how you could use it if you want for some self-discovery, enlightenment. So there are, I want to say 78 cards in the tarot. 22 of them are what are called the major arcana. And the major arcana follow the tale of the fool. And the fool represents all of us. Let me see if I can find, I'm just shuffling, I'm finding it. Let me see if I can find the fool in this deck here. Oh my gosh. All right, I found it here. So this is the Fool card. In most decks, it's the 0 because it dances through the major arcana cards. And it doesn't have a number. And it depicts a person, usually a man or a woman, about to leap off the edge of a cliff, kind of not knowing what the future holds, not knowing what is going to happen. And there's usually this little animal character, either depicted as a dog, here it's a fox, that shows you, that kind of has concern for what's going to happen to the character. It's like, no, don't jump, but then the fool jumps anyway. And then the fool goes through different stages of people, meets different people: the magician, the high priestess, the empress, the emperor, hierophant, the lovers. And each of those cards throughout those 21 first cards represent what each phase of life. So the very first person is the magician, and the magician has kind of mastery over the physical elements. So the wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And each of those represents an element. And then as he journeys on, so that's kind of the physical realm. And then the next is the high priestess. And the high priestess represents intuition, kind of the divine energy, higher power. So it's kind of the ethereal. And so for the first couple cards, there's that duality. It's like the physical, and then he begins to understand this. The fool begins to understand intuition and the higher energy, and then he meets the empress, who represents motherhood and the mother of the earth and feminine energy. And then he meets the emperor, and he learns things on his quest. And so the way that the way I've been using tarot cards, I don't particularly love to predict what's going to happen. As you can tell, if you've been watching the vlog, I like to watch them. I like to read them as a lens to look through, as perhaps something that you would notice if you weren't looking. You wouldn't notice if you weren't looking, but because you maybe have picked the card, like the card I pulled today of the Ace of Wands, like I'm looking out, I can look out for I can look out for where that creativity is sparked, where there is that fire that I'm building from. And that is a basic intro. And I would just start there. And I usually always love to ask a question. For me, it's like the question I've been asking is, what is the guiding light that I should look out for today to make me feel a certain way? But you can ask all sorts of different questions. What's going to happen with this? Who should I be on the lookout for? Who is going to provide support to me? And then you would pull a card, and you might pull the Four of Pentacles, and then you want to look up. So there are kind of two methods. Some people say to just look at the card, get your gut reaction to it, which is fine and fun. And I think that there's something to be said about that. I usually like to read the description. If you get a deck of tarot, I highly recommend getting one that has a book included. This beautiful deck is from Shadowscapes Tarot, Shadowscapes Companion, Stephanie Pewey, Moon Law, and Barbara Moore. I guess you can get it at Llewellyn.com. Llewellyn Books, LLEWELLYN. And yeah, so ask a question and see what unfolds. That's kind of the basics. Another way, I'll give you one last one. I don't want to make this too long. But you can take basically beginner, middle, and end. You can basically do a 3-card pull. It's like I think the most basic, aside from just one card. 3-card pull, you do basically past, present, future. It could be challenge, opportunity, resource, something like that. Let me see if there are a couple in this book. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's the problem, advice, likely outcome. So you can pull 3 cards, and basically the first one is the problem that you're facing. The second one is advice, and the third one is likely outcome. Again, I don't love using tarot for prediction. I think it's a little bit too constraining, because I believe that you have complete control over your future and your life. But it is your perspective that you're looking through that does create how you live your life and create how you feel. So if you can look through a certain perspective, that's what I like to do. That's what I like to use the tarot for. And that's a little bit of the basics about tarot. All right, now we're vibing on the roof. What a beautiful sight right now. Look at that. Larry's got the DJ setting up. This might be a little bit more chaos than I expected. What a vibe.
It all worked out. Yeah. It definitely worked out. Wait till
Ooh, the sushi action here. Here we go. Oh, look at those waves. Oh, yeah. The nighttime has cometh. Sleep is upon us.